like shit right now, but I'm gonna show you guys how I clean my dermal with dental floss. I didn't just have this idea on my own. This is what my piercing artist told me to do. I didn't know what she meant at first until I hit my dermal on something one time. And when I hit it, a few days later, it was really, really pussy and swollen, and it needed to be cleaned. And when it's at that stage, you cannot take off. I talked about this whole story, by the way, in my last video about my dermals, where I say why I don't recommend dermals. But basically, you can't take off the ball when it's swollen like that, because it can possibly suck the whole anchor into your skin because it's so swollen, and that almost happened to me. So you have to be really careful and clean it with dental floss. And what I mean by that is you just clean around this. So you go underneath the ball and you just kind of rub it. And it might seem like it feels weird, but it actually feels a lot less painful and irritating than using a Q-tip to try to clean it, because when you're using a Q-tip, there's no way to get underneath it. You're just pushing against the whole thing, which isn't good. You shouldn't be pushing on it as much as possible. So what I do is, like, since this kind of has like a little mintiness on it, I think, but it's really easy to get it off, so I just rinse it with really hot water. And also, before I clean the dermal, I'll get a really warm Q-tip with warm water and just hold it near it and let really hot water drip down onto it. So I'll show you. And I'll just boop, and it'll go through it, and then it'll get underneath the ball and kind of help all of the crusties get loosened. And then that way you can just go in there. I'm only doing this for you guys because I was having to clean it, and I thought maybe I'll show you guys what I mean, because I talked about this in my last video, but I know it's really confusing to people who like have never heard of it before. And it actually works really well. I got most of the crusties a while ago. So now what I do, now I've moved the crusties out of the way and there's more pus coming out because I knocked this one pretty bad. So the thing I figured out about using Q-tips is to get it really like warmed up with warm water and then squeeze it. So that way it's flat, and then it just goes right underneath the dermal. But be really careful while you're doing this. I'm not pushing down into the dermal, I'm just like very lightly going against my skin and going under that ball. That's not pus, that's literally just part of the Q-tip. But I'm so close. It really flattens nicely, but only if you get it warm before, like if you put warm water on it before. So what I'm doing is I'm just going around that bar underneath the ball, because if too much gunk gets built up under there, it'll get really, really swollen, because like what I just said, when I removed the crusties, more pus started to come out. It just means that there's just pus that needs to be removed, that is underneath the skin that's swollen. And if the crusties stay there too long, eventually it'll just kind of push itself out somehow. But so there's a little bit of gunk on there, not much, because I cleaned it quite a bit before I started recording, but I wasn't going to use the dental floss, and then I decided I was going to, and I was like, okay, I'll record this one. Seems okay now. I mean, try to go here because I think I see some. Yeah, the dental floss really just for like very crusty ones, even after you like let it sit with something warm for a while, it'll get like mushy and it'll be able to be removed, but it's really hard to remove sometimes, like with just a Q-tip. So this, you literally just rub it against that bar and it pulls off the crusties away from that bar, and then you can just do this. Like, this is what I came up with myself. Nobody taught me this. I literally just get a Q-tip and squeeze the tip, and it gets really super flat. And I don't even put the whole thing under it. I literally just use this tiny end, and it perfectly just gets right underneath there very gently like I need it to. So, yeah. Thanks for watching. Have a good day, good night, good evening. Just trying to share some info with you guys, so